Welcome to the Wiser Than Before podcast, where each episode will get a little wiser. I'm your host, Josh Dodds. On this episode of Wiser Than Before, we're talking about how health is never just one thing. What does that mean? That means if you're searching for optimal health, or you got a chronic health issue trying to get over, or lingering symptoms, that the answer is never going to be just one thing. We're trained a lot in our society and our culture to look for the magic bullet or the magic pill that's going to instantly solve everything, make all the problems go away. And it's just not the way it works with health. But don't worry, I got some good news too. Got a way to approach this that makes it easy rather than hard. Actually, the hard way is searching for the magic pill and putting all your eggs into one basket, hoping this thing is finally going to be the answer. Then you go to the next thing and then the next thing. That leads to a lot of searching and hoping and poor results, honestly. If it got good results, great. I'm all for it. If it got good results, I would have got my results way earlier because I tried that many times and it just doesn't work. And I think it's worth talking about because it gives a different framework for thinking about improving your health, resolving your chronic health issue, and getting to the health that you want to have in your life so you can be your best for yourself and for the people who are close to you and important to you, and spend your time focus on dreams and enjoying life and not on negative health issues. So the way we're taught, the way most people think about health is maybe I need to go to the doctor and that doctor is going to give me the pill that I need and that's the secret to health. Or, in the more holistic world, you might search for a supplement. Or even if you're sick for a while, you start to think maybe you're just missing one thing. And also that one thing is the cause of the problem, right? Like we're in our society, we're always like, got to kill this bacteria, kill this virus, kill. There's all these microscopic things that have been around since the dawn of time that are suddenly, just one of them runs loose in your body and causes all this havoc and problem, from the common cold to, again, long-standing issues. And what I've seen and what I experienced myself and now what I do with clients in my practice is that it works a lot better if we're first open to the idea that, hey, the body is really strong and resilient, and its natural state is one of vibrancy and health. So if you're not experiencing that, let's consider the idea there might be a few things. And then we don't have to put all our eggs in one basket. We don't have to be perfect. We really can take an 80-20 approach. What are these things causing it? I'll call them stressors. Let's identify them. And then what are the ways we're going to address those stressors? And that's nice because then we don't even need to be perfect. We don't need a magic pill. We just need what's going to give us the biggest bang for our buck. Okay, let's add that in. If we need more, we just go to the next one and the next one. And we can keep layering solutions on to address the stressors until the balance shifts. Now, here's the other reason that I like thinking about it this way and why I think the magic pill mindset fails is because health is an accumulation of actions, of mindset, stemming from that is feelings, right? If you're walking around negative and downtrodden all the time, it's going to be hard to have good health. Person who's positive, uplifted, and in a more positive state, you're going to have a little more to work with, right? And health's circular too. So the worse you feel physically, oftentimes the harder it is to feel good emotionally on a regular basis. And a lot of times that can be stemming from, a stressor outside the body. Sometimes it is a pathogen. But my point is a healthy body can handle these pathogens, keep it in check. A healthy immune system can deal with it. And it's not an ongoing overriding thing. So to approach it from a standpoint of not being one thing where we can prioritize what's going on, here's how I like to think about it. First, I like to get a better idea of what the major stressors are. Some of that can be done you can assess that on yourself. Like if you get honest with yourself and figure out what a major stressor in your life is, what you're letting affect you, a situation or relationship that you need to change or get out of, habits that are helping or hurting you. Like these can be big pieces. If you have a good practitioner, can also cover that with them. They'll often do that on an intake, or if they know you just on an ongoing basis, they can maybe catch things you don't see. And then I also like to use testing to see what's going on inside the body. Stressors inside the body can be, I already mentioned the pathogens, bacteria, mold, yeast, fungus like that. Can also be toxins like chemicals, plastics, xenoestrogens, or toxic metals that shouldn't be there. Also radioactive elements, if there's uranium in your water, which I see a lot of. These things can all add up. You can see how it can add up quickly, right? And maybe any one of those things isn't overpowering to the body, but 7 of them might be. From there, we go to solutions. And the solutions I think about in 2 ways. Number 1 is foundational solutions. That's just good basic health practices that help everything. And number 2 would be specific solutions. So if there is an overgrowth of yeast, candida, there's targeted solutions for that you can use. But if you just do that and your foundations are a mess, like I said earlier, maybe your life's full of stress, you have to work long hours at the job you're at, and that leads to poor diet and being dehydrated all the time and not sleeping enough. Well, you can do all the specific solutions you want. You can do all the killing of pathogens. You can even do detox and cleanses, removing the toxic metals, but things are just going to come back. If not the same things, different flavor. So in that case, the foundation is going to be more helpful. So that's what I like to do, and where I recommend people can start is literally pick one foundational thing, which again is a health habit that's going to support everything in your body, and then your body's stronger and it can handle any of these different stressors. It also gives you more resilience if there's certain stressors you can't get out of. Like some people, they know their job is a stressor or the situation in life is a stressor, but they don't want to change it. They want to keep it for whatever reason. In that case, being more resilient can help you get through that with less hits to your health. So you pick one, and then you add it to your life for 90 days. This is where people want the magic bullet because they want it to be easier and low effort, right? And so when they hear, oh, it's more than one thing, their mind goes to, this is going to be hard. I don't want to do this work. But here's the trick. If you do one thing at a time, do it for 90 days, that's when it becomes a habit, and it becomes easier for your body to do it than not do it. And at that point, it's almost automatic. And of course, the longer you go, the more automatic it becomes. And then you miss a day and you feel worse. You feel like off a little bit. You're like, oh, I haven't done that. I want to do it. So what would examples be? Let's take a really basic one, like beverage. So your water, cleaning that up. If you drink water from the tap, I promise you will be horrified if you see everything that's in that water report. All the time, I have clients in my office, and we pull up on the screen, go to their zip code, the water quality report, and show them all of the chemicals, plastics, radioactive elements that are in their water. And every time it's not pretty. So say just that you decided to do something different with your water. I like drinking distilled water, but even getting filtered water would be a step up. And so you do that for 90 days. And after 90 days, that's going to become automatic. You'll probably forget about using the tap. On average, you wouldn't, when you're thirsty, you're not going to go to fill up there. So boom, that's done. You've changed the water, which is a huge baseline for health, by the way. That's a really good way for a lot of toxins to get in the body, is to drink dirty water, even though we believe in our Western countries that it's always processed at the plant and safe. Far from it. We've got a lot of examples recently of towns and cities getting poisoned basically because of the water quality. Those are not isolated incidents. That level of poisoning, sure, but just imagine what else is happening that we don't know of. So I steer clear of that. An easier way to do, and it can really, really limit the damage. So then at the end of 90 days, you've got this automatic habit and pattern of drinking clean water. Already, that's lowered the stressor on your body. So now maybe your body has had more energy to deal with some of these other stressors. But then you can amplify it even more. So you pick the next step. Some people, that might be changing their nutrition, eating cleaner food. For some people, that might be sleep hygiene, finding ways to get good, clean, restorative sleep. For other people, that could be light exposure, getting less artificial light so they can improve their circadian rhythm, better sleep, better hormone cycles, the whole 9 yards. And you do that for 90 days. And at the beginning, it's awkward, a little weird. It takes some effort, but by the end of 90 days, it has become automatic. And I find that people, if you can stack 2 or 3 of those, you're going to feel quite a bit different. Now, depending on your health situation, some of the specific stressors might need to be addressed. I mean, you can't overcome the more intense ones, but those are usually addressed with a change in. If you can remove the stressor, you do it. If you need to work with a practitioner to get on a protocol that'll reduce some of the pathogens or chelate toxic metals or plastics or chemicals, then you do that. And I find a lot more success and people make a lot more progress that way. Searching for the magic bullet, I meet a lot of people who've been searching for the magic bullet for a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. And I really want to share this idea because I looked for that for a long time too. I always thought, what's wrong? There must be one thing wrong. And it took lots of trial and error to realize, no, it's a number of stressors and it's a number of health steps that are gonna get me out of this. But the good news is, no one of them is make or break. I can take each solution as far as I want to. So nothing has to be overbearing. And the power is in stacking multiple solid solutions. So you choose what you want to do, how far you want to take it, do it till it becomes automatic, and then do the next one. Do that 3 times. I promise you, your health will be different. Try it out. Let me know how it goes. I will see you next week for new episodes. And until then, stay wise. Hey there. I hope you enjoyed this episode and that you feel you're walking away wiser than before. I want to bring you even better episodes in the future. One way you can make sure that happens is by rating this podcast. The more of you who rate this podcast positively, the better guests I can bring you. Since you and I both know you're not going to do this later, I'll walk you through the 10-second process right now. All you have to do is follow along. Take out your phone and unlock it. Open up Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever app you listen on, and search for Wiser Than Before Podcast and click on the show. In Apple Podcasts, you have to scroll down towards the bottom, past the most recent episodes. When you get to the ratings and reviews section, click on the blank stars to rate. In Spotify, beneath the logo and name of the show, you'll see 3 horizontal dots. They're just to the right of the bell and settings icons. Click those 3 dots, and the second option is to rate the show. Hit the blank stars and fill them in. All done. You can cross that off your to-do list and start looking forward to even better episodes in the future. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week, even wiser than before.